That's interesting. Oh, for sure I put that on there. Let's try that again. I need to hotkey that too. Well, welcome to a great start here. Well, maybe we didn't. I just started. What the heck? That is. Hey, Robert. I'm not sure why it's actually streaming because I didn't start the streaming yet. But it's clearly streaming because you just said hello, good evening to you. So I'm going to try that. Interesting. So, I've not sent out any YouTube credentials yet. I think everyone should know last night's credentials should be good. Give them a shot and let me know. Are you off this evening? Hey, no problem, Jeff. Good to see you. Hope you're feeling better. I've had a rough afternoon myself. I've only been up, I don't know, a little over, maybe a little, right at an hour now. I took a nap earlier today after a frustrating day of going down several rabbit holes to try to get something fixed. So, hopefully, Zoom seems to be messed up today too as well. We will see. So, I will now see if the hotkey works. 3, 2, oh good, hotkey's working and we don't have much of a lag. Cool. Alright. So hopefully Jeff joins us after a bit. It is 8 o'clock in Las Vegas. I'll make this full screen. Oh man, that's horrible. Off tomorrow and Thursday. Okay. Well, unless someone calls in, and then we all know how that goes. I don't blame you, especially right now. So I spent the better part of the day trying to get my notifications working on my Gmail and YouTube, since I don't get any from anything. And I think now I get one from Gmail, but I don't get anything on YouTube. At least I thought I got one a while ago on Gmail. I kind of set it up with a distinctive ringtone so that if it does, I for sure know that it works. We will see. How does the audio sound in the YouTube stream? Robert? Jeff? Anyone? I haven't made any changes since we adjusted it last night. That looks about halfway centered. My hair looks horrible. What the heck is that? That's just my head. Okay. Man. I may have to go resend invitations for Zoom. Either that or I'm just going to sit here and not have anybody to join me in Zoom. Now, if I lean back, that's not too bad. But if I lean in like this, that just gets... It's supposed to be autofocus, but it looks like it's not. That's not too bad right there. I'll go with that. So, give this a couple more minutes. Oh, my picture over there is crooked. Or the other two are crooked, and that one's straight. Go down that rabbit hole. Be doing that all day long. Let's go ahead and use a hotkey here. See if that changes. Yep, that's not too bad of a delay actually. I'll just minimize that. If someone joins me, I should get a notification for that. I'll go over here. Actually, yeah, that looks correct. Now we'll go over here. We'll go to compose. I'll send it to myself. Not that I need to, because I know I'm live. Let's see. I'll send one to Darren, although I know it's late there. It's like what, 2 something in the morning if I remember right. I don't think I better send Casey Ferris one. Thinking he would not see the humor in that. Boy, I kind of have to remember that for sure. So who am I leaving out? Oh well, somebody will mention it to me. I've come to the conclusion that just shy of writing a list, I'm always going to be forgetting somebody, and it's good to go. Let's see how that goes. Go back to there. Minimize that, maximize that, and bring up with the hotkey the big screen. So it's cold as all get out here today. I don't even think it broke 30 degrees. And one time I did check, it was 29. I was going to watch the weather around, what time was that? It must have been the noon weather, but the local station I watched the weather out of was messed up. So I wrote to people and that I got my NVIDIA programming from, and I said, just refund me my money. I can't do this every day. Their last response to me were, we are working on it, we will get it fixed. And that seems to be a daily occurrence as well. So we will see. Tim Sowell last night walked me through putting Kodi on my computer. That was fun and interesting at the same time, and it works. I watched a couple things in here this morning when the Amazon, Disney Plus, and TFC thing went down. Okay, there's a person wanting into the Zoom. We'll go ahead and get that going. So Blackwatch is joining us in the Zoom. And I'm going to mute him temporarily to let him know we are streaming, so you might want to disable any audio you got going in the background. Of course, he didn't realize that I was streaming, so I can't be upset with him, and I'm not. Maybe I should send a disclaimer. Warning. Can I unmute him? Oh, I can ask to unmute, but he should know to unmute himself. We'll give it a minute and see what happens. Yeah, it was, man. I was going to try to catch the news, which started 18 minutes ago, but then I decided, yeah, I'll catch it tomorrow. Not going to make any difference. I'm not going anywhere tonight anyway. Stayed in all day. Didn't get anything I wanted done. I may or may not have gotten my email notifications working. I say it that way because it seems like I get every other one, which is just crazy. And I may just have to realize it's a Windows thing, and maybe an update will fix it. I'm not going to roll back Windows. I'm not good at doing that, and I don't want to screw things up. It basically works. I just have to remember to go in and check everything from time to time. And I don't know if that's clicking or not. Blackwatch, if you can hear me, I muted you. You had some background noise. You need to unmute when you're ready. I'm trying to click on Ask to Unmute, and I don't think it's working. I'll do it through there. And I know it's not the machine. This thing's been restarted 6-7 times today at least. Make a change, start it. Make a change, start it. So I do see I have an icon in the lower right now that's on the start menu, taskbar, whatever it's called, next to the caret, and shows OBS is active, which it is, obviously. Now that's something else that's weird. Usually I have to hit 2 things to stream on YouTube. Tonight I only had to hit 1 thing, which is kind of like the main switch, and then you either go to Facebook or you go to YouTube. And I glanced over and it was already streaming, so I don't know. I must be the guinea pig of trial and error of things on the internet. And a while ago I was checking my bills and I noticed that one of my bills took out my bank 3 times my bill payment, and I already sent an email off to him and asked him what's going on. They acknowledged getting the email, and they said they'll get back to me tomorrow. So I don't know why they can't do it tonight. If they got the doggone email, then it seems they could do it. And again, that goes along with another one of my suspicions on the way I look at things. If I don't complain about it and they refund it, then let's just say I paid $100, then they take it out 3 times, they get $200 that, you know, helps their profit margin. And I'm sure that happens all the time. I'm just convinced that they do that in hopes that no one catches it. And it might not be that, I might be exaggerating the dollar amount, but it all adds up, even at a nickel, 3 or 4 times over the course of the United States and the millions of customers they have. That's good money. No, no worries, Blackwatch. I know you didn't. That's why I muted you because, and like I said, that was my fault. I jokingly said I may have to put a disclaimer in the invitation. No, no, it's all good. That was on me. That was mine. And given we had just been talking and discussing music, I clearly get why you would have that going. So it's good. Um, I am going to take this moment of opportunity since no one's here and I don't see anybody waiting up. I just started a fresh pot of coffee about 21 minutes ago. I'm going to go grab a cup and get that rolling. I will be right back. Oh, that felt good. And there's somebody waiting to get in. Looks like there is someone waiting to get in. Okay, Matthew Camp, hello. Good to see you again. Hope that all is well for you your way. And I see Robert's waiting to get in. Let me let him in by admitting. Well, that's
He hasn't paid. He hasn't paid his ticket price yet.
pay a price.
He hasn't paid the ticket price. I said, ante up.
Oh yeah, I seen that. Yeah, yeah. You know, you joke about that, but it looks like there are creators on here that are going that route, and I don't know. Uh-oh. Oh no, we're good. 3 of us in here. So I'm gonna close that. I don't necessarily need that open. I'm pretty sure the YouTube world can figure out that Blackwatch is here, Robert is here, and I am here. And I think I said hi to Matthew Camp. If I didn't, hey Matthew Camp, hello, good to see you again. Jeff Ryman mentioned earlier he'll be with us later. He's at dinner. This is a late dinner, 8 o'clock. So, what's on everybody's mind? See, we all have about the same thing on our minds tonight. Anyone check my subscriber amount lately? I need BH Ringer here. I need a drum roll. And you guys are tough. Robert I can get. He's at work. I don't know if I got any. I'll check that later. Let's go see something here while I'm thinking about it. So one of my initial goals today was to do something on DaVinci Resolve, and I didn't quite get there. And I honestly think there should be a way to permanently set these to where you don't have to go in and do it all the time, but we are creatures of habit, so that seems to work best for me. What I basically want to do, and I can't make up my mind if I want to use text or pictures, but I want to add a bunch of pictures in here. Wow, seriously? That is that. Why is that big? That's crazy. So that picture, for some reason, is like not where I can work with it. I don't know if I can. No, in fact, I know I can't. Okay, that'll work a little bit better. Let's see what that does. Yeah, that's simple. Yeah, I bet you're looking forward off to your days off. But if you're like a lot of people that work a lot, you get your days off and you got things to do around your house, and you don't really have a day off because you're doing more on your day off than what you normally do on your work day. So I want to take this, and then I want to take another one and another one, and when it's all said and done, I basically want this to start in the upper corner and then kind of come to the middle, and then a picture pop out with the name and then fade away rather quick. The drawback to that's going to be, one, I'm going to need to get permission from a lot of people to use their picture and or get pictures from a lot of people, or I can do something on the humor side of things. Right. Yeah, that sounds good. And barbecue. Don't forget the barbecue. The cards, the booze, and the barbecue. That would be great. Um, the basic gist of that will work pretty good. I don't know if I need to backboard it all, or I call it backboards, background it all. That works pretty good. And then text. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't hit space shift, and I was on the background node, and I hit merge, and it automatically brought the text in, and it merged the background to the merge to the picture to out, and then I can go in here and go. I'm just going to pick on myself and go Ken Stout, and change the color to there's something that stands out so we can see it. Go here. Go to the size. It looks to be a little. So let's make the size a little bigger. Not seeing what I wanted to see. So I'm going to go back to this page, hit play, and nothing happens. It's Monday. Oh wait, no, it's Tuesday. Never mind. Can't use that. Go over here. That's interesting. I disconnected. Oh no, that's not interesting. That's correct, actually. Like I disconnected the picture and it's still showing up, but I disconnected the background. So if I put that over there, nothing's going to happen. It's all the order in which you do it. There we go. So the text goes into the merge, the picture goes into the merge, it jumbles it all together, and then it puts the text there. So, was it about a lucky man that made the grade? And I bet the news was rather sad. Okay, so that's work. That's cool right there. That'll work. Except obviously there's no animation, no movement, it's a static picture. So then I could take the next picture and bring it down here like that, and then again I can't work with that like that. It doesn't have to be super big, but it's got to be big enough I can make it out. And then over there, okay, then go into here. Oh, that makes sense. But why wouldn't I not want, why would I want to do, well, obviously it would be a different picture. Hey, Tony Wallow, good to see you. You snuck in on me a minute ago. Hope your night's going well. Hope you're not like the rest of the United States or the rest of the nation. It's been super cold. It was cold here all day. Robert said it was cold in Tennessee. And Blackwatch hasn't said. I'm just playing around in DaVinci Resolve right now. I've got an idea floating through my head, and I'm just trying to piece it together. I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to go maybe Shift D and go down here, and then Shift V. No. Is there a paste? No. So you go here, here. That'll work. Then you put something in and took it away. Could have to sit here and watch chat. So I'm going to try to take this same picture and put it in here just to see what it's going to do. And I'm going to disconnect this one. Nothing is there. Gary wants in the room. I'll let him in. See, this is what I like about, and there's Gary. This is what I like about how Zoom is set up. I'm in DaVinci Resolve. I get a pop-up box over here that says somebody wants in on the Zoom. I hit admit, and I know who it was that's there, and I know he's there because it said ding dong, so I know he's in there. And if I wanted to verify that, I go in there and there's Gary. So that's pretty cool. I like that. That's funny. So good evening to you, Gary.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you sound excited. Okay, so that goes there. There's Alex. I'm going to put that up there. Let's see. There we go. That'll work. Put
The
this
grump is back.
back in there. Same picture, so it's not going to be different. That's cool. And Alex is now in the room. Okay, I can mess with that later. Hey, Alex.
Hi.
I was just playing around and Resolve with an idea I've got going on. Try to
I
slap something
can.
together. Hi, Blackwatch again. Man, you guys are like quiet today. What's the deal? Everybody's all talked out. The cold spell's got everybody not in a talkative mood.
The only that matters. They only let me out of my cell for a couple hours a night.
Is that what it is? Oh,
Yeah.
who's that wanting in? That would be Greg. Okay. Cool. Greg has now been given the keys to the castle.
Is the old boy awake?
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Sleepwalking
Yeah,
again.
you sent me the link, but I got in through the other link I had already copied just to make sure, just to see if it still works.
I went into Zoom and started, and nobody was joining, so I thought, well, I'll go ahead and just resend it. So I sent it to myself, and then I blind carbon copy or the BCC thing to everyone else, and then people started showing up. So,
Well, I just thought I'd copy the link I already had in the notepad to see if it worked, and it let me.
it should.
So it let me in.
Hey,
So
Greg.
good.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are things your way?
Ah, normal day. Didn't do too much.
Was it cold today?
A little bit, a little bit. I think it was 46 degrees today.
I'll take that. I know at one time we were 29. I didn't look much after that. That's too doggone cold.
Yeah.
So I didn't get anything done at all today. Somebody send me an email. I'm curious as to whether this is consistently working or not on my notifications.
Why?
I
You
didn't
never
see
noticed
anything.
anything.
Do what?
You wouldn't notice if it was there anyway.
Yeah, I'll get an audible notification. I won't get. I don't necessarily need the icon to pop up and tell me I got it. But I think
Well,
I'm
you
getting.
must have thumbs in your ears.
Hey, you should have got it. You should have got it. I just sent one.
Okay, well we got to give it time to get here.
Oh, geez, I sent it with the best pigeon I got.
I didn't get any notification. I had YouTube open for the last 25 minutes, I think it was.
Yeah, I seen some people that I follow that I subscribe to. I never got a notification at all. In fact, my notification box over here is now all screwed up, and it says Mail, Veterans Experience, the Home Depot at 6:49, and Microsoft Store at 6:32, and I never got notified of it. Kerry Holzman looks like he posted a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it was
router,
Planet
router, and
Cairo
router.
said-
So I think he's having Planet Kairos chop up his longer videos into
Yeah.
15-20 minute segments or whatever, which that would be time consuming.
I got something to share with you.
Go right ahead.
I'll take the 20. The guy said, I can't see what.
He's sharing his screen and he's going into
know,
documents, and then he's going into
Put on the glasses.
yeah, pictures.
Man, I can't remember where it's at. Damn,
Welcome to my
under
world.
desktop. It's under you.
It is beside that and the thingy and the whatchamacallit.
And the thingamabob. Don't forget the thingamabob.
Oh, the thingamabob. My name's not Bob.
Yeah, exactly.
All I can see is my shortcuts. I used to be able to see the users.
Is this rehearsed, Greg, or what?
No.
So you wanted to see the users on your
On my desktop.
oh. Um, the only users I know, and I'll throw my 2 cents worth in is to go to C drive and users that way. I didn't know you could have users on your desktop. You click on that, and then go down to users in the left-hand column. Yeah, right there, or right there, and then there, and then desktop. Go up to desktop, maybe there. I don't know. Nope, that looks to be about the same thing. I don't see any users in there at all. So you have specific users assigned to your desktop?
No, it just creates that automatically.
And no, I did not get an email notification. Well, Greg.
OneDrive, maybe?
Greg, have you
I
been,
don't use OneDrive.
Greg, have you been watching Doug again?
No.
I got three emails and no notifications.
There we go.
That's crazy. Okay, so now he's found what he wants. There we go. So how often do you get questioned on your last name? Great guy, eh? Sure. Today.
Bit the
Can I
bulk.
borrow that one to make a copy?
Hold on, let me screen now. So how's the arm feel?
I don't feel anything really.
Really? That's cool. That's good.
That's good, yeah. Bugs,
That's good.
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny Crazy Cast. Oh, nice.
I'm a plank owner on that ship.
Nice.
Which one did you say you had? The Pfizer?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we had in April, May.
I just wanted to see what the people's reactions were to it. That's all. That's the only reason I waited.
Nice. How's
I've
every?
had people.
Go ahead, Gary.
And, oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say. It's like I have a friend, and he's a doctor, and he's 2 kids and a wife. So it's like he did it. And I figure if he was stupid enough to do it, we should. All 6 of us had a hell of a reaction. That's what's funny. And then he got the booster I didn't get, and he got a heck of a reaction for it. And his wife and his kids didn't have any reaction. They walked home and it was like having a flu shot. Who knows?
Did you work today?
Me? Yeah.
Did you work today?
Yes.
Mm.
Let's go for the trifecta. Did you work today?
I'm having abused my leg Monday, but I'm taking Monday off.
Yeah, I
They give me
took the day off.
Yeah, they give me a shot in the spine, which
Oh.
numbs the leg. It's like an epidural for a lady having birth. And then they go down to my knee and they do some burning inside, not cauterization, but they get the nerves. And then I go from there to whatever they are, doctor that goes in and cleans all the meniscus out. And they want me to put me under, and I said no, and they said okay, but it'll hurt. I said, but how long will it hurt after? They said it'll be better that way.
Well, how are they going to keep you from moving?
You got to see this place. It's got you, even when you're not under, they tie you up like something kinky. I had my wisdom teeth out like, God, when I was 22 or 3. I told the ladies, because literally they tie you down. They literally do, because they don't want you to wake up and hit them. And I said, if you put on black leather, I'll enjoy this one. Made her mad.
Actually, I know they tie you down. They do.
Afterwards, they told my wife.
Yeah, I know when they froze these things that were on my face, I expected it was going to be cold because he said we're going to freeze these. And
It was hot.
oh God, it was horribly hot. Yes.
Probably liquid nitrogen.
It got rid of it. So that's good. And I mean, you're going to do something to me, you're going to put me out. I just don't handle things well.
They're not going to put Gary that deep. you know.
No, I'm not going to.
Well,
It's
Mr.
not that
Stout,
I'm
we're only
afraid.
putting a Band-Aid over your cat. I don't care. Knock me out. Sorry.
Well, I haven't do that. And the problem is once you get up, even for the spine thing, you get up 2 hours later and you got a headache for about 3. And you're going to do all that. I just soon
Yeah.
try the other.
Oops. That's interesting.
As I said, a pain clinic so you can get pills afterwards. And believe it or not, my doctor is doing the procedure won't give me pills. He actually sent me there.
Trying to run 2 keyboards at the same time. So that's weird. Earlier today, I did get a notification when I was on a Zoom with Blackwatch right before I had dinner, and I've got a unique ringtone to it, so I knew it was an email. I'm about ready to scrap it and just make regular checks on email and YouTube and anything else I may need to be notified of. I don't get it. My other machine, my old i7 machine, I get notifications when I turn it on, and I get like 1,000 of them because it goes ding 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 ding, and they are there. But I don't have any notification thing on that computer, so go figure that out. And the email's about the only thing I need. Pardon, Gary?
I was going to say, I hate to say it, but you probably do have something. I just don't remember how it's done.
Yeah, I just I don't know. Maybe this is Windows' way of forcing me to go to Windows 11. Maybe it's what is
Well,
well, Windows 12. Windows 12's out now. Oh, you got my attention.
Windows 13.
I've heard rumors there will not be a 13,
Probably be a 14 instead.
but I've heard rumors are going to skip 13. Something,
Well, that's what the
something
elevator
to
said.
do with culture somewhere. I don't know. Or I dreamt it. I don't know where. Kat's probably it's 10:47 her time, so she's the only smart one amongst us, and she's in bed.
You notice something? She's the only girl. And I didn't mean the bed part. I meant smart.
Ida's been in a couple times, but Kat's the one that's most consistent. Yes. Trying to think if there was any other women have joined us.
Yeah, she's in carries a lot.
Well, it's usually earlier than this, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, actually, I'm right on time. It's 10:48. That was my other intent. My tooth got to bother me, and I was mentally drained from working on the notifications. So I took a single pain pill. I'm supposed to take 2, but I didn't want to sleep all night. And I told Laura, I said, wake me up in 2 hours. 5 hours later, I wake up, and the first thing I said was, I thought I said wake me up in 2 hours. And I quote, you were sleeping so good, I just wanted to let you sleep. Okay. Okay.
And I like that.
I understand it. You know.
My wife goes out for 2 or 3 hours and tells me that she didn't want to wake me.
Hey, yeah, that could happen too. But it did a world
Hey,
of
Greg?
good.
Sorry. Hey, Greg?
yes.
How long did they make you stay there after you got the shot? Or did they?
Well, in the form, they said 15 to 30 minutes. But the lady gave me the shot. She says, see you on the 28th.
Yeah.
I said, okay. I put my driver's license back in my wallet, my Medicare card, put it back in my wallet, and walked out.
Wow.
I fell asleep for about 45 minutes.
Was that
About an
through?
hour
Was that through
after
the
I got
VA?
home. No, that was local CVS pharmacy.
Okay.
It's only one stoplight from my house.
Were they very busy or just?
No, not really. One guy came in for his booster shot.
Yeah, I won't, not because of any political reasons. I won't run it down, but the stuff that's got me out is the politics of it.
Well, I talked to my
Yeah,
brother
they-
earlier, and he said he's absolutely feeling horrible. I don't know if he's going to get the vaccine after he gets over it or not. But I know Jeff was fully vaccinated. He caught it or got it. And I just wonder how many false positives there are that, you know, you've got the flu, but because we want to keep the numbers balanced up or whatever, it's identified as
I know it sounds
COVID-19.
too political.
Yeah,
I
well,
haven't had a flu shot since I was in the Navy in '94,
thank you. Me too.
and I've never
1992.
gotten the flu. I had laryngitis one time, but that was it.
Yeah.
We get them every year, and we get that shingles shot.
Yeah, I noticed that's kind of making a comeback with us,
Yeah.
non-young people.
And the good part, is you have to have had chicken pox, or not have had, but
Right. If you've had chickenpox, then they say the shingles virus can be inside.
dormant. Yeah, dormant or
Right.
whatever. Well, I think around here, and I'm sure it's different or same everywhere else. 'Cause my son's real sick right now. He goes to the doctor like every couple of days. It's not getting better, and they give him the damn test. It
Right.
keeps coming back negative, and then it's like, well, do I have the flu, which I had a flu shot? Do I have bronchitis, which I've never had? You know, as an adult, do I have this? And, you know, they give me antibiotic. What's it called?
Yeah.
Zyrpack, or Zyrtec, or Zyrpack, something Z-Pack.
CPAC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's interesting that you said that because in 1977, right after I graduated high school, I came down with something. Okay. Notice the air quotes. Something. And the reason I say something is because I had a fever, I was coughing, sneezing, runny nose, couldn't keep anything down, fatigued, whatever. Go to my doctor and, well, just take this medicine, you'll get over in a couple of days. Okay, what's wrong with me? Well, we're not really sure, but take the medicine, you'll be better in a couple of days. I'll see you in 3 days. Okay, great. Didn't faze me, nothing. I wasn't better and I wasn't worse. This went on for about 2.5 months. They never did identify what was wrong, and I eventually got better. But what pissed me off about it was I had tickets to go see Aerosmith, and my mom said, well, if you go a whole day without throwing up or feeling bad, I'll let you go. Boy, I put on the greatest act of my life that day. I still didn't get to see Aerosmith.
Hey, they aren't the kind of band you throw up on.
Yeah, well, as karma or luck or however you would have it was, as we were getting ready to leave, my mom was like, "Now, are you sure you're good?" I'm fine. I haven't thrown up all day. I really feel. Into that. Didn't go no further. So, but the strange thing is they never identified what was wrong with me ever.
How long did it take to go away? Like 2 or 3 weeks?
About 2.5 months.
Oh,
heck. Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about you're senior graduating high school, just turned 18 years of age. You kind of want to get out and do stupid things, and you get slapped with that. I don't know. It's weird. I'm sure it happens quite often, more than we realize. That would have been nice to know. Probably, now that I think about it, I do remember hearing him mention something about this is COVID .0001A or something like that. I don't know.
yeah, that.
Yeah, exactly. Patient number 1 or 0.
Well, I'm not political about it very much, but I wonder when we're going to get rid of it, or is it political?
I don't know. On both accounts, I don't know. I mean, throughout our history, we've always had things that show up and go away, show up and go away. Some of which are more devastating than others. I mean, I don't know.
My son was upset that I got the COVID shot today.
Pardon?
My son was upset that I got the COVID shot today.
because he
I'll say-
doesn't believe in it, or
I guess so.
yeah.
I'm not upset about. Like I said, I got the shot. So did my wife and the kids. But the thing that bugs me is now they're making. I just have a real problem with that. And they got to how much the fine has to be if you don't pay, or you don't get the shot. So your work's going to take money from you if you don't get the shot. And you know how much that's going to cost? Then you're going to have employees going to unions.
How much? What's the cost? So you're saying if you don't get, I work for you and your company mandates I get it, and if I don't get it, you're going to fine me?
Yep. And it's not the company, it's the government. I mean, we don't give a shit, per se.
Right.
I mean, I should say we do, obviously, but no, it's the government saying.
Can I flip that coin a second? Notice he didn't give me. Can I flip? Can I go to the other side of that coin?
Yeah.
Do you get any subsidy from the government for having people vaccinated? If you don't want to say,
No.
Huh?
No, what? That makes sense.
Well, of course not. Wink, wink.
No,
No, I
seriously.
know. Well, because your medical field does. Your nursing homes and some of your centers do get subsidies from the federal government, and they are being pressured into making everybody get
Right.
the shot. And they're threatening with, if you're not 100% vaccinated, we're going to withhold your subsidies. So
Well,
that's going to trickle down.
I should say we have not. We have no government subsidies per
No,
se.
that's good.
We sell it with very little to one part. It's like, I mean, I'm talking less than anything. I mean, it's not. Let's put it this way: you couldn't live on what we sell to it, and that was not a joke. But no, it's part of the OSHA's deal. But they put a lawsuit in. They keep saying no, that'll go through, and it's gonna. They think it'll go to the Supreme Court before it's done with. Who knows?
Yeah, we had that discussion about the judge in Louisiana, and I think it's going to take a while to get to the Supreme Court, but I believe you thought it might get there a little quicker.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anything since. Have you?
Nope.
That's,
So I agree with everything you just said, though. But yeah, no, they want us. That's the cool thing. They're calling it. Let's say your work has bad electrical wiring throughout. If you touch the wrong machine and some wire, you get electrocuted.
true.
OSHA's treating it like that. Oh, we got a damn near a book on it. And by the way, if you in work have a heart attack, it's because you didn't have the virus or the vaccine. If you get hit by a machine, it's the vaccine. And they've already told us how it's going to run. That's another part that I don't like. But
Can I go in and edit tonight's title and put Insider Secrets?
I'm sure you have your wife do it. I mean, there's no secret.
Well, I, for the longest time, have suspected that you go in and you have a heart attack, and especially in the beginning stages of this thing, it was COVID-19. No, it was a heart attack. No, it was COVID-19.
All I'm seeing is last night's posting. I'm not seeing anything for tonight.
For
Channel.
this, for the stream,
Yeah.
it's live. Let me
On
go make
YouTube.
sure. It is.
Let me refresh.
Pretty much sure. I seen Tony and yeah, it
Yeah.
says live now. I just
Yeah,
did a
I
refresh.
did a refresh.
Yeah.
It showed up, but it wasn't showing up for the last 25 minutes.
Tony Wallow for president. We have a nomination. Tony Wallow for president.
Yeah, like I said, I'm getting a little political. Nothing secret. And they've actually said how much they want us to do it. 100 every 2 weeks. And I don't know what
You're
they're gonna do
or you're not mandated. It's the wrong word. They would like you to get 100 people vaccinated every 2 weeks.
No, $100 from your paycheck every 2 weeks.
Oh! If you don't get it, they want to take out $200 a month.
Yep. 50 every week. No, we get paid
And I'll bet you, by what you just said, I'll bet you they're no longer giving away the free COVID testing, are they?
Nope. And the money, it's not ours.
No, you're just the go between my hand to their hand.
Exactly.
And that way, if I complain about it, they can say, well, Gary's the one taking the money from you. You need to talk to him. And then, of course, Gary, and I'm not picking on Gary, Gary's going to say, it's not me, it's the federal government. So that loop is constant. And meanwhile, I'm losing money.
We're not making money on the deal.
And right, you're not making money.
And
so
when you come in with the vaccine thing like Greg's got, we have to send a whole pile of those to the federal government. We got to make a copy. You'll miss another half-hour work, which they say we got to pay you for. Because we can't say, let's say you start at 7:30. Well, you got to come in at 7 and get it taken care of. You got to come in at 7:30 and come in and get it taken care of. Well, that's in the book. We can't make you lose any pay because of it.
Right. You just also said something that my mind immediately jumped to. You're just the go-between to it, but let's just say someone gets really creative and says, we're going to take $50 from Ken and Alex and Greg, and we know there's a 3-day lag between when we get it and when the government gets it, and we're going to figure out a way to make that $150 make us make 50 cents or whatever. Meanwhile, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I agree with what you said. I've actually jokingly thought about that. But if you're a real company, it's just too much pain in the ass to try to deal with it.
I would agree. But I would almost also go out on a limb and say, I guarantee you there's someone that has already legitimately thought about, hey, you know what? Let's figure out how to make money off of this. And 3 days, you're clearly not going to make any money. So it would depend on what the turnaround is.
Well, the big deal is like, your checking account, there's no real interest on money today.
If it's in your bank account, you'll draw interest on it, right?
Yeah, but how much is interest right now?
Oh, gosh. 0.000000100009, something stupid like that.
Yeah, it's not any real. If it was 7% interest, you're right, we made a hell of a lot just, letting money in there every 3 days.
I'm just waiting for the IRS to knock on my door and open up my mattress and find my $5 that I've got saved under there. I didn't report it last year.
Mine's in my shoes, so. In case they do come in.
We joke about stuff like this, and then there's going to be a 2-week absence, and I'm going to come back and go, you guys are not going to believe what happened to me today. And if I have the foresight to record it, I can say, just watch the video. Black suits. Mr. Stout, we've heard, yeah, I'm playing around, babe. It's fine. That was me knocking. Me. It's okay. It's me.
It was you.
Anyway, back to the black suits are knocking on the door, and you open it up, and they go, we've heard you may have some money stashed. Nope. And you sure it's not in your mattress? Nope. And they go, well, we have a warrant here saying we can look at your, I know that's out there and far-fetched, but.
That I do have. I have had for 50 years. I don't trust anybody now.
As long as you have it in your shoes and they don't ask you to take your shoes off, you're all right. We'll be back tomorrow, Gary, to see you. Wait, Gary, you seem to be a little taller today. I put $3 $50 bills in my shoe last night.
No, $3 bills.
Yeah, exactly.
I
throwed some coins in there. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man.
I'm greedy. I want them $500 bills.
I'm like Gary, I trust very few people. Very few people. In fact, I'm going to have an argument with Target tomorrow because they took my payment that I made not once, not twice, but 3 times out of my bank account today.
Jeez.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure it'll be, oh, we're sorry, Mr. Stout. It was just an oversight on our part. Let us put that money back in your account. And they probably will. But think about that. If they get $450 from me because they've charged me 3 times, and they throw the other $300 into account, and they do that with 100 people, somebody do the math in their head real quick.
Well, the problem isn't the money. When you start talking that way, especially on a check, you can't get them right away. That's the one thing about regular credit cards instead of debit cards. You can say, they, screwed me. Oh, okay, we'll contest it for you.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I owe them money. I paid the bill. I do. I set it all up online, which I'm about ready to throw away and go back to the envelope, lick, stamp, mail. Envelope, check, lick, stamp, mail. I really am so close to doing that. But then I got to factor in the time between here and where it's going and all that other nonsense.
Okay, can I be party pooper?
Sure, go right ahead.
Now you got to where it was lost in the mail.
Yeah, a guy pulling off the corner and dumping it in the ravine.
Yeah, I seen another thing about they found some more FedEx packages about 100 miles away from the ones they found earlier. Man, that brings up an interesting question. So you're out walking, you hike, and you're out walking, and all of a sudden you come across, the 150 FedEx packages, and you go through it and you find nice things, usable things, and you kind of glance around. They're in a ravine, so obviously they don't belong to the ravine. You take them home, and 3 months later, you get a knock on the door. Are you liable?
Liable to get in trouble.
Found them. I was walking down the street.
Vern and I were talking about that. Now, we twisted it. What if I delivered it to your home and you're next door to my home? And you shouldn't have gotten it.
And I know I shouldn't have gotten it. I mean, clearly it's got your name on it with your address.
Next door neighbor.
Right. And
no,
then I do believe you're wrong, and that's kind of a different story, but.
Well, the kick will be if you have to sign for it.
Question.
Go.
Point of order, Your Honor. How many places are actually making them sign to get their packages?
That's the kick, though. Let's say it's the computer, and he does sign for it, and you sign. Which name are you going to sign? Ken or Gary?
Probably, if my intent is to steal it, I'm going to sign it Gary.
Now we got you further crimes.
Well, then you forgery, but my next door neighbor package on Sunday was supposed to be signed for. I sat here and watched him drop it off and get in his truck and leave. Nobody signed for it. He didn't even knock on the door.
None of my PC components I had to sign for. They were just left out at the door. I just watched them.
I swear to gosh. Well, I bought a PEN refill and, a tool that was about $30, and they put them together in a box, but it's shoved into the bottom of the tool, so you couldn't see the pen refill. It was only like $5 maybe. You know what they showed me? This is Amazon. They literally took a picture of it, and they showed me the picture.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
Yeah, I said it's not here. When I don't give a shit about the picture. Tell me where it's at.
Right. Jeff has entered the waiting room. I like that. I do like this system. Although, if it's going to be secured out to just the channel people, we shouldn't get any bombers. So eventually, I can get rid of that. I think. So did you ever find the item they said that they showed you the picture of?
It was in the bottom of the box. So it was there. But
I have a saying that there's a lot of things in this world that companies and governments and people do that they think it's for our benefit, that all it is lip service to say we've got this program that's going to benefit you, but it's actually to make them feel good about themselves. Example, Gary, you've got a sign to get your package, and we're going to take a picture. You go home, there's a package sitting on your door or behind the bush or something, and you never signed for it. You call them up and say, hey, why was this? Oh, Mr. Wiesenberger, we've got your signature right here. No, you don't. Well, yeah, look, it's right here. Well, all the driver's got to do is sign it away.
Yeah.
And it's just, and then you're right, it does open up another possibility of another crime, but prove it. is going to be,
I think
that's all
that
they're going to
article
tell you.
thing-
They're going to say, prove it.
Remember the article I sent you about Amazon? With the truck driver that left it there. I still love that.
Does anybody here use the Amazon pickup points? Hey, Jeff.
Hey, I haven't. We have one within a mile of us. It's in Albertson's grocery store.
We've got one, and I'm not saying this at all to be humorous. It literally is a barn out in the middle of nowhere. And
Is it a red barn?
No, actually, it's not.
Is it a dress barn?
I've kind of wanted to go over there and just see, but I'm sure not going to test it with ordering something to pick up there, because be my luck, I'd order something I really need, and it's just some farmer that got smart and said, I'll be an Amazon distribution point, and he's getting all this stuff.
I've never had this happen with Amazon. Years ago, I had something stolen I ordered from Costco. Bought a camera. And this was, I guess I was going to give it out to my wife for Christmas. I don't remember now, it's been a long time ago. And it evidently was just left on the sidewalk in front of our house, and it disappeared. But they refunded my money.
Well, that's good.
And I
How
tried
long
to order another one. They said, sorry, we're sold out. But at least I got the money back.
Right.
How long did it take to get the money back?
It was credited within a month on my credit card.
It wasn't bad.
So
It's bad when it takes 6 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to talking to the Target people in the morning. I really want to hear their explanation on this. And you're probably right. It'll probably take about a good month for them to put it back in there.
I'll say one thing for most. And this is personal. It has nothing to do with anything I have a clue. But the people working there are probably not treated any better than anybody else.
I 100% agree with that. No doubt.
Oh, shut up, Ken.
Yeah.
Them.
There's that Ken dude calling again. I guarantee you, I'm on AT&T's do not talk to list. I promise you that.
Well, the other part is how many calls they get. Somebody's actually saying, "Hey, Cindy, you did a damn good job."
Very few to zero.
But no, their job is to take complaints.
I think the only honest problem I have with across the board any company, when you call, you get an automated system. I don't like that. The second thing you get is, what can I help you with? Would you like to make a payment today? I don't care what the company is, that's the first thing they ask you. I just paid my bill, why would I want to make a payment? And then the other thing is,
Now that you just said that, I have a point to make.
go for it. I'll go get my coffee. Well, I hear your point. Go ahead.
One thing you don't get with the web hosting customer service I use, you call them and they're immediately. They have a little automated system, but it's just to tell you information. And once that information is told you, it's immediately put on. You're immediately transferred to a person. You don't have to talk. You don't have to talk to an automated system or press a button or anything.
Well, that'd be good.
unusual these days.
Very
They're
unusual.
completely American, 100% American support.
Yeah, I deal with one little company here in Illinois. It's in the next little town over. It's about 15 miles away. There are 3 people that work in that office. There's no automation, and I really working with them. I just, it's what you call, and they're so small, and I'm sure they deal with enough people, but they know who I am. I'll call them, and I say, hello, and they go, oh, hey, Ken, how are you? Right off the bat. So maybe caller ID, I don't know. Maybe my lovely voice, I don't know. I just don't know. But that, I really appreciate that.
I had one guy at the college that was like, because my number that I use is an out-of-state number. He knew that my number is an out-of-state area code, so he was able to see it on his phone. And right when he picked up the phone, he was like, "Hey, Alex."
Yep. Jeff, Robert asked, are you feeling better, and how's your wife doing?
She's doing better. a little better on the cold. Yesterday, I had a medical procedure earlier in the day. I had a cystoscopy. See if I had any tumors come back in my bladder, which I haven't so far.
Good.
I've been fighting that off and on for 9 years. Apparently, I'm going to have to do these off and on the rest of my life. I'm back to a 6 months interval. I first had it when I was in South Carolina. And after I was treated there, I was clear 5.5 years, and then it came back on me after I moved back to Las Vegas. And I've had 2 surgeries and 2 chemo treatments. It's actually not chemo in the traditional sense, it's immunotherapy. So it's not where they stick the stuff in your veins and you get sick as hell and lose your hair and all of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so still clear.
Good.
Which is a good thing.
Sure.
And then as soon as I left the doctor's office over that, I started getting a scratchy throat. I know it's not involved with the other thing anyway, because they were poking something up the other end.
You never know how far they did it.
But really felt bad last night, which is why I just went to sleep.
Well, my doctor wanted to do that. Matter of fact, he had some guy in the waiting room that was doing it for him.
So Blackwatch asked, if, not to interrupt you, Gary, but Blackwatch has asked, Jeff, do you have a spare headset for Olivia tonight?
No, she's out someplace with her mom. They're out running around doing something.
And Matthew said you can disable or silence unknown calls in the phone, silence unknown calls, and toggle the switch to on. Yeah, I have a simple solution to that. If you're not in my contacts, I don't answer. If it's an unknown number, I don't answer. If it's a spoofed number and I can kind of tell it's a spoofed number, I don't answer.
Yeah, my problem is there's once in a while we get a call from a doctor's office as a reminder of something.
Right.
And they don't call from the number I have in the phone. They hire somebody who has an 800 number to provide these reminders.
Do they leave a voicemail
Why
and
don't you
don't
just
answer?
program that 800 number in your phone?
Well, I haven't yet. I could do that.
Be my luck, though. I'd program the first 800 number they call, and then next week it's going to still be an 800 number, but it's
Well,
going to be different.
Yeah, the thing that irritates me is that we'll get a lot of numbers purportedly from 702 area code, which
Yep.
is the old Las Vegas code, of course.
Right.
And they're from someplace else. I mean, they're obviously spoofed,
Yes.
but you never know.
I got one today that showed
Although
up telemarketer.
I'm good at hanging up on people.
Well,
Don't say
every
much.
once in a while, I like to play with them. I really do. Every once in a while, I'll get in the mood, and they'll call and they'll start on something. And we're calling about your car's insurance. Please tell us. Well, you tell me what kind of car I have. You called me. I didn't call you. Or, oh man, the insurance is going to run out tomorrow. And that 1946 Model T I've got, it's just about on its last legs. And every now and then you get someone that doesn't quite catch on. The worst one I did was, it was for, I want to say health insurance. Oh, thank you for calling me. Oh my God, hold on. I got to get my medication. Sir, are you okay? Sir, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold just a second. I had that guy going for 15 minutes.
Oh,
And he finally figured it out. I was like watching this. This is record time here. He finally figured it out. He was not happy.
Those text scammers going for an hour.
That's pretty good.
One time had those tech support scammers in a virtual computer going for an hour.
I'm
The
not that
ones I
smart.
get irritated about out here, we're just inundated with calls from people trying to sell us solar panels.
Silver?
And a lot of people here do buy them. I'm surrounded by neighbors. Not everybody has one, but I would say 40% of my neighbors now have solar.
Oh, solar, okay.
But it always starts the same way. Hi, we're glad to see that you've been a good Nevada Energy customer. and it's not Nevada Energy calling. It's
Right.
somebody wanting to remind you that there's a program in place where you can replace your Nevada Energy with solar of some sort. And just and the other ones are about the car warranties, and I already have an extended warranty on my truck, and so I could go on and on with those folks if I wanted to, I guess, but I just generally hang up.
So solar energy brings up a question I have in my mind. I've read and heard if you put solar on your house, that energy actually gets sent to the electric company to be sent back to you, and it gives you a reduction on your bill. Is that true?
Yep. If you're up to a certain point, they have a way of sizing it. They're not supposed to size it to replace more than 90% of what your use is. And they look at the last year's Nevada energy bills and see what your use has been. But they have ways of trying to do it so that you'll actually get money back most of the time and have a very small bill. I have neighbors that have it, and they say that actually works. But on
So
the
you
other
put
hand,
apparatus on your roof to gather the sun light to convert into energy to send to the electric company so they can send it back to you only
well,
to give you
it's
a reduction
actually,
on your bill?
well, I wouldn't put it like that. What happens is if you're making more than you need, then it flows back the other way and you get credit for it.
Oh,
It doesn't go there and then come back again.
well, that opens up a whole nother crazy thoughts in my head. So what's to prevent them from saying you're always getting back more than you need so that they're profiting from you sending them energy to send to Greg and me and Gary and anyone else?
Well, no, well, the way it works, I mean, you've got something added onto your electric service that monitors what you need, and when you're sending it back, the meter actually spins backwards.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just a negative number, right? Chuck?
What? Yeah, just and say in the wintertime, if it's cold or it's overcast, well, like we got a little sprinkle here today, God knows how. It's overcast like that, you're using energy, and so it's just and Nevada Energy adjusts the bill. The thing I don't like about it is that, of course, you can't believe a damn thing the salesmen are saying to you.
True.
And there's two main ways they do this. One, you're buying it on a long-term payment program.
Right.
And the other way is that you're leasing the panels and you never actually own them. And depending upon what company's trying to sell it to you, I've had the salesman tell me all the bad stuff about the other way to do it, and you don't know who to believe.
I would
So
actually
far,
get
I
a
have
hold.
just
Go ahead.
avoided signing with either kind.
Sure.
I may talk to some of my neighbors that I actually know a little bit and see how they like it.
It's relatively pricey too, isn't it?
Yeah, well, supposedly it saves you money over what you're paying the power company, which would be the only reason to do
Right.
it.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I've always wanted to, and I'll preface this with I don't have the knowledge to figure this out, but I've always wanted to make a portable solar unit to put out in my front yard, let it gather the energy, and somehow convert it to where I can bring it in here and plug it in and use it. Now, I don't know how to do that. I'm sure it can be done, but that's just always fascinated me. The other thing is, I would like to actually talk to someone that has it to discuss it across the board. What it costs. How many years are you paying? Is it really worth it?
Yeah, one of the things is these solar panels gradually lose efficiency over time.
Okay.
Makes sense.
And you need to keep them clean. One of the things about we have some big solar farms here near Las Vegas now. And I don't know the truth of all of it. I've had a guy who knew a little bit more about it than I do. He say one of them is out there between here and Searchlight, which is our former Senator Harry Reid's old hometown. He didn't live there anymore.
Huge solar farm out there.
Right, and I was told they have a natural gas plant alongside it that's always on standby in case something goes wrong with the solar. So they're keeping that natural gas plant not running to produce it, but they've got it hot all the time so they can just flip the switch and go. So that isn't so that isn't quite the saving one might think of if that's true. And I haven't really tried to dig into it and find out if that was the truth or not. One guy that I know and sort of trust has tried to tell me that.
I'm gonna see.
And
if
the
I
other thing is
can-
out here in the desert, why you get wind blows and sand and everything hits on them, and they kind of etch the surface of those panels over the
Yeah.
years. Lowers the efficiency of them in itself, not just wearing out what's in the panels, but so everything's not pie in the sky. I think there's a place for it, and I will say that if you're going to use it someplace here, if I've got them on my roof, I'm getting the most energy when it's the hottest and when the power company has the highest load.
That's true. So I don't know if
Or
you're
air
watching.
conditioning. So if there's any place you would assume it would work well, it would be here in the desert.
Right. So I'm going to share my screen. It's also going out over the YouTube stream. This is just outside of Charleston, and this whole area from this road right here, I don't know if you can see my mouse or not,
Yep.
all the way up to here, all the way over to about right in here, on both sides of the road is nothing but solar panels. And they just started putting them in about a year and a half ago.
Hey,
It's,
sorry.
it's, go ahead, Gary.
Real quick, I actually was going to ask Jeff probably the same question. Jeff, can those be, are they going to have something to hold the energy when they start making more than is being used?
Well, right now, I mean, it just flows back to the power company.
Yeah, but don't they hold it in some kind of containment?
Well, no,
battery?
it goes out someplace else right now because
Okay.
there's, like, we aren't making more than the power company itself needs. It's just more than some individual homeowner needs at this point. But that's the big thing they're trying to work on is storage. I mean, that's what you have to have it good. But all of these people that continually say, all we really need is a bunch of wind turbines and solar and all of that, and we got to upgrade the grid a little bit, and then we'll just all pass it all around. That's pretty simplistic.
Yes. Well, solar at night isn't going to work very well. That was a joke, but
No, if you're going to rely on this kind of stuff 24 hours a day, you need storage someplace, and that's where we need work in. The base load, which is the minimum of what you need, that power company has to put out 24 hours a day, is the concept that a lot of people who tout all of this stuff really don't understand, at least in their gut. I mean, they say they understand it intellectually, but I'm not sure that they do.
the other part, at least, not to interrupt you, I apologize, but the other part is, I'm thinking here in Detroit area, we don't have sun half the day, more or less at night. Is
Yeah.
they don't understand. I mean, in 1923, people read, and they went to bed at 9 or 10 o'clock. You're up at not as late, but we're up at 12:30.
Yep.
11:30.
Right.
That just didn't happen. We're all on computers. We got a light someplace in the house on.
Yep.
I mean, 80 years ago, that just didn't happen. 100 years ago, that didn't happen.
No. So Jeff
These
mentioned
people-
solar. I guess you're talking about the wind farm, the big turbines.
Right, that's the thing that fascinates me when we drive across the country on the interstates. Like we go back to where we grew up or whatever, come back out here. You see these horrendously big wind farms, and you go through some of them, and about a quarter of the turbines are sitting there for
Right,
maintenance or
right.
whatever.
Not even rotating.
Right.
Yeah, not even rotating.
Now I have heard And again, it's just something I've heard. I've heard it actually costs more money to fire one of those up than what they actually can produce.
That I don't have any knowledge to.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
My sister was discussing it one day, and she was like, "Well, it costs more money for them to start it than it does to run it." But I too have seen what you did, where you've got, let's just say, 100 of them out there, and 35 of them are down.
Well, somebody thinks some of them are going to work someplace. I think this was off the coast of England. I saw something on the other day. I think on public TV or someplace. I don't remember where. They're building these huge wind farms out in the ocean. And that's pretty damn expensive to do that.
Yeah.
And they're looking
You've
at
got to make the
long-term
structure strong enough to stand up against some big storms.
Well,
out there.
right, and then you got,
In
what
the
are you going to
North
do,
Sea.
anchor it to the ocean floor?
I don't know if they're anchoring it to the ocean floor or they're putting it on something that floats and
Floats, yeah.
sort of anchoring that in a particular location. I just haven't kept up with that. I was a nuclear guy. That's what I did for 35 years. I didn't work for any utilities. And obviously I would support nuclear if you can do it economically, which hasn't always been the case. There was a hell of a capital cost associated with trying to build a nuclear plant initially. And you've got to recover that over the lifetime of the plant, or it's not economic.
Right.
So, I'm only for doing what's cost effective regardless. Everybody's touting fusion as opposed to fission, which is what we have now, is the way to go. But there's kind of a running joke. When I first started studying this stuff back in the 60s, they were saying fusion was 20 years away, and that the number 20 could range anything from, say, 15 to 50, depending on who you were listening to. And you go out there now, and it's almost the same story. Well, we're only 20 years away from having it work. And although it has changed a little bit, they're talking about being 20 years away from having something that's actually practical now. So I guess we've made a little progress, but I'm sort of the wait and see guy on that, and I get yelled at by people who think I ought to know better, but I'm kind of skeptical of anything till you show me.
I think a lot of people are telling us that this will be the end all, and I don't think they have a way to make it sustainable.
The good thing about fusion, if we had it, is that the leftovers, you might say, are much less radioactive than what you get out of fission reactors. Now, I worked here on the Yucca Mountain Nuclear Waste Project for 10 years, and it, for political reasons, is kaput now after spending, I don't know how much money, 20 billion, I don't know, 10 billion, something like that. It was money that, except for the weapons waste, it was money that came primarily from the utilities who pay into a fund. But nonetheless, the first proposed place to put all the waste that I'm aware of was out in Kansas, where I grew up. I heard about there was a salt mine there that had closed, and they were going to stick it down there. And that fell through for various reasons, and then they've had several other locations proposed, and Nevada was one of them. And while it was an acceptable location in my thoughts, it may not have been the best location. And it was shoved down Nevada's throat. I mean, the Department of Energy likes to spend money studying things. They will study something forever and ever and never actually do much beyond the study. Right. And the Congress at one point said, okay, by God, you've been studying these 5 locations for 20 years. If you won't pick one, we're going to. And they did. And they shoved it down Nevada's throat.
Well, wasn't that Uncle Harry that got that done? Wasn't he behind
that?
Well,
Uncle Harry got it killed.
Really?
And now the Department of Energy, in its wisdom, has announced that they're not going to ever site a nuclear waste repository any place that they don't have the consent of the state and local people. So basically, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, that's
unless they do
Or
a
it's
lot
still going to
better
go
selling
into
job.
Nevada, and you guys are not going to know it because they figured out a way to sneak it in without anyone knowing, and they're going to keep telling you, nope, we're not doing that anymore. Kind of like, watch the left hand while I do this with the right hand.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, Ken's right-handed.
I'm one of
anyway,
them. I'm one of them people that can do things with what.
Ambidextrous.
Yeah, I can't say the word, but yes, thank you. See, I can
Oh,
hold my
well.
pen in my right hand. Pretty good at that. Believe it or
Yeah,
not.
the only thing I'm
Left
going
hand.
to say about all this is that whatever happens, I won't be alive to see it. It's going to be that far out. So
True.
it's the way it is.
It's true.
I believe that nuclear in some form with the wind and the solar would make a reasonable combination if you want to get away from
Bless you.
fossil fuels. But my fear is that, like on things like the nuclear waste storage, right now it's sitting in storage casks at all the utilities that have reactors. And it's out on a concrete pad someplace inside this big cask, which right now is perfectly safe. But those things are designed to last maybe 100 to 200 years at the most. And my worry is that they'll be sitting out there 300 years from now, and finally something will happen to one of them. And assuming we still have the country and Congress and whatever around 300 years out, and somebody will crap their tights and have a crash program that'll screw things up even worse.
Yeah, I don't want to be the bearer of. I don't want this to sound horrible, but I ain't gonna be here.
Oh, no, well, I'm not either. I mean,
So, and probably my kids and their kids, and probably even their kids.
but
ain't
your
gonna
great
be here.
grandkids may have to
Yeah,
worry
they might
about it.
be.
So
So,
I read that we're all going to die
Not
in
me.
20
You
years anyway.
think you think I'll be here? I'm the youngest one here on the Zoom right now.
Well, I've read
if you're
that
here
It
in
won't be
300
solved
years,
in
I'll-
your lifetime, Alex.
yeah, no. Go ahead, Gary.
No, I said I read that just 20 years is all we got left, and that's what Greta Thunberg said. So
Oh
keep
no.
in mind.
So I said, oh no.
What is this, society or?
No, Greta. The
You don't know
14-year-old
who Greta
is the 14-year-old that's conning the world right now.
Oh,
Or 16 now. Hey, not to change the subject, but has anybody seen anything about any new travel restrictions that are coming out?
I heard a little bit on CNN.
Are they getting worse or are they getting better?
No, they're gonna implement more travel restrictions, and they're gonna make them a little more stricter for not knowing the right word.
yeah, I don't know.
More
Most places are trying to implement restrictions on travel from the
So I'm
southern half
gonna
of
request
Africa.
someone's phone number, so that when I'm sneaking into Indiana, because when they close the border to Indiana and I want to go see my family, I need someone's number that I can call, that you guys can all get together and bail me out, so I can come home.
Well, you know my number, and if you forget it, it's on our website.
Yeah, I know. And I joke about that, but I hope it didn't come down to that. I don't see how they could enforce it state to state. There's too many roads and bridges and ways across states for them to actually enforce that.
Some of the states tried enforcing some of that early in the pandemic.
Yeah, I think New York was one of them.
They even it was
Yeah, but-
something between Texas and Louisiana was one place that was going on way back when.
So
I don't remember the details. I have relatives in both places.
can you imagine the logistical nightmare of that? I mean, just take any state, two small states, and unless there's only 3 or 4 points of entry back and forth, how are you going to manage that?
Like a Rhode Island and New Jersey or
Well,
something
yeah,
like that.
something little. I mean, even that, they
Well,
probably got hundreds.
They weren't
Around.
doing it at the borders, but when you showed up someplace with an out-of-state
Out-of-state
tag or
license
registered
tag.
in a hotel or something, then they were asking you to quarantine for so many days.
Okay, so that brings up a hypothetical, interesting question. I'm driving down the road to Indiana. I have an Illinois license plate on my car. I get 30 miles in the state, and here come the red and the blues, and I get pulled over. And they want to see my vaccination card. I don't have it. They want to see this. I don't have it.
Oh, so they're talking about.
Oh, I don't know. That's hypothetical. I
travel
haven't heard
restrictions
anything
from state to
about that.
state. That's-
I don't know what they're going to do. Would they send you back till you turn around and go home, or what? I don't know.
Well, again, that would be a logistical nightmare because okay, go back to
I
Illinois.
know. I know. I don't
Well,
know what
sure,
they're
I'm going
planning.
back to Illinois next week. you know.
You could just come in a different road.
You know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of state roads.
Yep. I mean, there's like what, 70, 40, which is the same one, only 10 miles apart. 36, 72, 74. There's one more up
57.
north. So that's 6 or 7 just across Indiana to Illinois. There's no way you can man that. No. And maybe they put up cameras or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Hey, somebody else
It's
bring
above
something
my
up.
pay grade.
Exactly. I'll be like Anthony, the guy in the NFL. I'll just get me a fake vaccination card.
What's Zootopia, Alex?
You
You got in your background a second ago.
I don't know. I'm just playing around with it. It's the video filters.
Oh, okay.
So,
I had some ideas for backgrounds, but I think they would get all of us banned from YouTube permanently.
I had my.
Glad you said that before. Well, show us some.
I don't have any. I just had the ideas for it.
And today in national news, Jeff Ryman, Ken Stout, Gary Wiesenberger, Greg Guy, and Alex Cheek went to federal prison.
Well, it wouldn't take too much. All you'd have to do is go on Amazon, for example, and hunt for marital aids, and put the pictures up in the background.
What's the app that's going around that primarily women get on there and they show themselves in various stages of undress and it's being frowned upon? Oh shoot!
I know what you're speaking about. I can't think of it.
I don't know. I know I read a thing where it was a school teacher that makes no money as a school teacher, and she figured out she could do on this app, and she was making decent money. The school board found out about it because the parents complained about it, and she no longer is a school teacher, and it's just ridiculous.
But what's interesting is that you don't have that site will let you post anything you want. It doesn't have to be X-rated material.
Sure, but
It doesn't even have to be romantic in nature.
right. But it's advertised as explicit pictures or whatnot, because I've also seen on the other side of that coin. Well, I paid to see Jeff Reimer's site. You know what? I want my money back because it was horrible. There was nothing there.
Well, there was a minor celebrity, and she said that I'm going to.
I'm not picking on you, Jeff.
I'm going to be very romantic.
Nobody'd want to see my site.
Go ahead, Gary.
And I was going to say there was some minor celebrity. I know the site, and she was saying that she's going to do this and play a song or something.
Mhm.
And she got like 19,000 people, like $30 or $40 a person. And she actually had on a nice little, I didn't pay, but a nice nightgown. I saw a picture of it, but it wasn't anything sexual.
I wish I could remember the name of that site. This is bugging me.
Well, it's hell getting old. That's what can't remember stuff like that.
Yeah. Hey, I'm all for if you've got the initiative to figure out a way to make money and people are going to pay for it, I'm all for it.
And this is how I had my background the other day when I had that yesterday when I had that interview.
The blue.
That didn't go very well. I had it on the blue and nobody knew a thing because I didn't want them to see my bed and maid and all that.
Sure. And I will also admit, with that same train of thought, we all know that 3-letter word that starts with an S and ends in an X makes money. We know that. And it has for generations, and it will for generations.
Yeah.
White socks. Socks?
Exactly, socks. like
Yeah,
I'm
in the
gonna
fog of
do a
my
thing on
cold,
my diabetic socks. Go ahead, Jeff.
I was going to say, in the fog of my head cold, I can't even Google tonight and find out what the name of that place
It'll
is.
come to me.
Usually, I'm pretty good at that, and it
Yeah.
ain't happening tonight.
I think easy something easy.
I would imagine there's quite a bit of them, but this one made prominent headlines because, and she argued, what I do on my time is my time, but she also lost her job, and I agree with that. As long as you don't take it to the work. But now, if she took it in and said, "Okay, class, today's lesson is going to be, I need you to go to www.lookatme.com," that's a different story.
Yep. Well, the problem is you can never keep something like that quiet, and then the kids find out about it and go look at it, and then the teacher loses their job. I mean, it's
Right,
almost an inevitable process.
especially in today's
And
today.
even with the filters, I heard some stories when I was in high school about even with all the filters that they had to have because they're a state agency and all that, and they had to block all the sites. Even with all the restrictions, I heard multiple stories of kids looking at just pulling up images on Google Images and looking up bad things.
Sure.
Even though the school had all those blocks in place.
Yeah. Well, I've always joked, and I'm sure Jeff and Gary may look at it this way too, that you can try to restrict your kids from doing something, but they probably know more than you do, and as you put the restrictions on, they figured out a way to go around it before you finish putting it in. I mean,
And when I was in college, everything that I access at home was accessible at college, so I never ran into any kind of if they had any kind of like website filters or anything, because I don't ever look up anything explicit like that.
yeah, well, when the 3-year-old can figure out how to video dial a phone, that's interesting.
Well,
Real
I'll tell
cool.
you something that happened last year when my grandson was working from home here because they weren't having in-person school. He was using a school-issued Chromebook. And then when they finally started letting them go back part-time last spring, was it? He get in there. His parents got called because he went looking up something he wasn't supposed to. They didn't. I don't think it was necessarily explicit,
Sure.
but it was just something that the kids and the parents all signed an agreement that you're only going to use it for class-related stuff. And
Right.
he looked up something else. And they didn't have any filters, but they do monitor that stuff. They've got some AI stuff that monitors that. And I won't say it catches everybody because people are creative, and
Oh, sure.
especially kids that don't know any better. But they catch all of the obvious stuff.
I read a while
8
back.
years old.
Yeah, I read a while back there was a kid, I believe it was in Texas, and he was either 8 or 9, and he hacked into the school system, and he became a straight A student.
Oh yeah,
And so
I
did
think
some
I
of his
heard about
buddies.
that.
And his mom's response was, "Well, I knew he was smart." That was her response, rather than a teachable moment.
You know what? If I was him, you know what I would have said?
I'd have
If it was
charged
me-
people $50 and made a whole bunch of
No,
money before I
if it
got
was
caught.
me, I probably would have said, "Well, I did it to try to see how hard it was to get around the school security to beef up the security and make it better." And that's what I would tell the IT department.
And that's exactly what they did. And not only did they say that, but the school came out and retracted the initial report and spun it around and said they authorized him to do that to expose their weaknesses. You hit the nail right on the head. Yep.
Did you run into funny situations?
But
Remember the old search
for
engine?
that reason, or did they just say that just to get out of whatever? I find it hard to believe that he did.
The parents did it because they had a good lawyer and they figured out they would spin it that way. I don't know why the school did it. for the life of me, I can't figure out why the school initiative would say this kid broke the law by hacking into our system and he changed the grades, whatever, yada yada yada, and then 3 weeks later say, nope, actually we put him up to it. We wanted to see our vulnerabilities. I don't know why they would do that.
Liability.
This is for the old guys on here. Anybody remember the Alta Vista search engine?
Yeah.
Well, you got
many
two
years-
people saying yes. I don't know.
Many years ago, when I was working at Oak Ridge National Lab, in one hat I was the division computer security officer. Doesn't mean I was technically up on viruses and this and that, just it was an administrative thing. And the main hat I was wearing, I was involved with the group at that time during doing research on radiation treatments for cancer. And there's a place in Texas called the MD Anderson Cancer Center.
Yeah, I
And
familiar with that place. We got a guy.
and one of their
Parks.
claims to fame back in the day were women that had breast cancer. They developed some very innovative algorithms for treatment and reducing radiation exposure while they were doing it, and yada yada, all that kind of thing. So we were working on a research proposal to try to get some money to do some more stuff, and so I went on Alta Vista search engine and searched for Anderson breast cancer, blah blah blah, and up in all of her glory popped Pamela Anderson with her boobs sticking out for all the world to see. And so I had, as the division computer security officer, I had to go to the division director and report myself for popping up not safe for work material.
What was not
On
safe
a work
about
computer.
it? Motivation went up that day, did it not?
So, but it was just
Why did you look at it
sort
for
of
2
a
hours?
weird situation. What's that, Gary?
Why'd you look at it for 2 hours?
Oh, he was making sure that
The browser got stuck.
yeah, there
Freeze
you go.
frame.
You should have just Control Alt Delete and ended task on it or turned off a computer.
And that was probably Windows
Well,
3.
no, I just closed the browser. But the point being that they didn't look through every website everybody went to, but there was a potential for them to find out because all that stuff is tracked in a log someplace where we went through the gateway. And so to avoid being embarrassed by being the computer security officer and getting caught at that when I didn't say something about it, I reported it. It was very unlikely anybody would have found it. It was possible.
Sure.
And again, and of course, Murphy sits up and bites you in the butt when you least expect it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
discretion was the better part of valor there. Nothing
it's not
came
like-
of it because I did the right thing, you know.
Sure. Sure.
But guess I'll tell another tale out of school here. Strange as it may sound, we were working. I worked at Oak Ridge National Lab, and we had a guy that was working late at night. And it turned out this fella, at one point, was the biggest downloader of pornography any place on the internet at one point. And he got found out, and he left the company. But the guy that really got it, it turned out there was a server he was getting most of this stuff from, which was at another national laboratory. So it wasn't just him downloading it from random places on the internet. Somebody else was putting up massive amounts of pornography on a government server, which of course was a big no-no.
Sure.
Well, government servers usually have a lot of space on them.
Yep. Well, I'm sure that's why he was doing it. Never knew what happened to that guy. I heard through the grapevine, this was at Los Alamos National Lab, and I heard through the grapevine that the guy that posted all that was the son of one of the division directors there. So I don't know if his daddy's influence kept him from going to jail or whatever.
Well,
Who
is it
knows?
against the law, or was it trespassing, or
So I mean, but yeah, that was a real interesting day when they finally caught up to this guy at our place. All of us were in the building. We were sitting working at our PCs. I mean, just doing whatever we did. And all of a sudden, a bunch of people, they got a bunch of security people, both computer and guards and whatever, walked into every room in the building, told everybody, take your hands off your keyboard and step away from your computer.
What?
And there were some guys with guns, actually. Not in every room, but there were
Right.
armed guards in the building. And we didn't know what was happening for a long time. And then they finally congregated around one or two offices upstairs. There was a woman that was in our group who was managing one of our servers in the building there. And this guy had pulled all of this stuff down through her server onto his own computer. And they thought she was involved in it and scared the crap out of her. She got so upset they had to send her home because she was completely innocent of all of this. But it was an interesting day.
excuse me, Jeff, for 1 minute. Hey, Alex,
Sure.
that's what I was saying about came to a lady who had nothing to do with it. They thought it was her, basically. Same thing about those two dirty ones. You know, they might come to yours looking for yours. Not being nasty, just saying.
When you talk about if my neighbors get a hold of my Wi-Fi and connect to my Wi-Fi and download stuff, it's illegal.
Big time. And what? Never mind. But yeah, big time. That's why they try to use yours instead of theirs.
So I'm going to
There's
end the
even-
YouTube stream. We're at hour 46 minutes. Tony Wallow, thank you. Matthew Kemp, thank you. Anyone else who joined and didn't say anything in chat, thank you. I'd like to thank the new subscribers I picked up today. I don't know who you are, but
Hey,
thank
80.
you. Yeah, I seen that. I was impressed. That's cool. And I didn't even put any shameless plugs in anywhere today either. So, Tony, we'll see you tomorrow night. Matthew, we'll see you tomorrow night. I'm going to end the stream. If you ever want to join us on the Zoom, let me know. I'll send you the link. Love to see you both there. In fact, we had Matthew in the other night, and that was good. I appreciated it, and it was enjoyable. So I am going to end the stream. I've got the thank you for watching. Salamat sa pananononu. Yeah, I know I said that wrong, but I'm saying it to make
Tell
someone
your
mad.
wife.
Mrs. K will correct you.
She'll try. All right, guys. I'm going to end the YouTube stream. I'll be right back to Zoom in a moment. Bye for now.
5, 4,